Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel as Mike's Talks and Thoughts here. And today we are back with another one of the characters tier list here, the ones that you guys know and love. And today we are here with Futurama here, one of my all-time favorite shows, a show that I just finished within the last couple of months here and absolutely loved it. Easily one of my favorite animated shows of all time, and today I thought I would go through the main characters and even some of the side characters from the show, just giving my thoughts here on Futurama. If you're a big Futurama fan, you know these characters are just insane, and the antics that they get up throughout the entire series are just crazy here. And without further ado, let's get started here. First, here we have Kif, and of course, he is sort of the punching bag with Zach Brannigan here. I'm going to put Kif in C tier. I think he is an okay character. He has some funny moments. You know, his relationship with Amy is always pretty funny, and there are some pretty funny episodes that revolve around him, but overall, he's just kind of a neutral sort of character that, you know, you like him when he's on screen, but he doesn't really bring anything over the top to him. And he also isn't someone who completely annoys you. So I think for that, he's going to go in C tier. Next tier is Zoidberg, man. I'm putting Zoidberg in S tier. I know that might be controversial for some people because there's so many great likable characters in Futurama, but man, Zoidberg for me is one of the funniest characters on this show. While I think another character, well, we'll get to later, is a little bit better as a character overall, just because they have a lot more connection with a lot of the other episodes here, or the episodes where we revolve around them. Zoidberg, man, just anything that he says in the episode, any funny one-liner, it always cracks me up, man. I love the episodes where he is, you know, in the lead. You know, we don't really get to see Zoidberg much at all taking control of an episode or having a plot revolve around him. And that's one of the reasons why I love the last season so much. Is one of the last episodes of the show. They finally give Zoidberg this whole love redemption arc, and it's really sweet for his character, which, you know, we had been building to with Futurama. So I really liked that. Nibbler here, another one I'm just going to put in the C tier. I think that Nibbler is, you know, kind of annoying at points. This is, of course, Leela's pet, and eventually we find out more about his species here, and we also find out a little bit more on his connections with Fry, which is really great to see here. Having, you know, connection with the story, and that's one thing I think is very underrated in Futurama, is the story aspect to this. You know, a lot of people will say, oh, it's just like, you know, one-off episodes, but for me, I think that there is a clear-cut story, and just following the journey of the crazy antics of this world in the year 3000 and beyond is just crazy. And Nibbler, like I said, like a C tier character. Amy here. Amy is probably one of the weakest of the main group, but I love the main group so much. So I think for me, she's got to go B. You know, being, of course, from Mars, a very interesting aspect of her. I think her parents are pretty funny as well, even though they're not listed here for this character's tier. I think that they have some great funny moments. She is pretty cool. I like her relationship with Kif, but again, she's probably one of the weaker ones of the main, you know, ensemble here. Next tier we have Leela, and I'm very tempted to put Leela S tier, but for me, I'm going to put Leela in A tier. I think Leela's great. I love her backstory with her family. That is something that was really great in the first few seasons. You know, thinking that Leela's species is extinct, and then find out that she is a mutant here, and of course her relationship with Fry later on is something that just takes the cake for great moments here in Futurama. And I absolutely love that. Leela's a kick-ass, badass female character here, and, you know, always carries a lot of the action in these episodes. And of course here, Fry. I'm gonna put Fry here in A tier. Another one bordering on S tier. I mean, some of the best episodes of the show revolve around Fry. Of course, the pilot episode's one of my favorites, where Fry gets sent to the year 3000. You have, of course, the luck of the Fryrish, the late Philip J. Fry. Like, all these episodes just revolving around Fry himself, and of course, being the main character. He's really great. You know, just this dumb kid, man, at heart, and his relationship with Leela, and his bromance with Bender is great. And he is just a great main character. One of my, I would say, more likable protagonist, if you want to call him that, in any show. I think that he is a very likable character, you know, a very silly, goofy character. Always makes for a great laugh. And again, love his storyline, love his arc, his development, and the way he grows throughout the show. Farnsworth here. Farnsworth, I think, is another A tier character. Another one that is really funny and someone who has a lot of great moments. Again, he seems like he's just so smart and can get anything done, and then he does some sort of crazy fuck up and fucks everything up. One of my favorite episodes of the show, of course, is the Paradox episode with the different parallel universes, and of course the different timelines. And of course, in the finale, his little invention of being able to stop time. And like I said, he just always has a solution to everything, but he also seems like he causes the problem 9 times out of 10. So he's just makes for what a lot of the plot and what goes on in Futurama they're being able to do because of Farnsworth. Hermes here, for me, again, along with Amy. Hermes and Amy are probably the least, valuable to the main group, or my least liked characters. I mean, Hermes is cool and all, and of course he has his great funny moments. I love his interactions and how he just hates Zoidberg. It's one of my favorite ongoing jokes throughout the show. But yeah, he's just sort of a solid character, B tier, but he doesn't do anything to push himself into that A or S tier. But as I was talking about earlier, there was a character that I like a little bit more than Zoidberg, and that is going to be Bender here. Bender is great, especially the first few seasons, man. Bender is by far the funniest character, and he's always just remained super funny. And he has a lot of storylines that revolve around him. One of my favorites, of course, is Bender in Space, or Goodfellas. That one's great, where Bender basically has an entire world of people on his body out in space. And again, someone who has a lot of great moments, interactions, and I love, again, the development that they take with Bender here throughout the show. You know, they really express heavily how Bender has like no feelings, no emotions, and then they even do a little bit of a play on that in an episode. So Bender's great. Bender's hilarious, and always making me laugh. And one of my favorite characters of all time. Like I said, probably my favorite here in Futurama. All right, here, Dick Nixon. I think for me, he's just gonna have to go in the D tier for me. He's just sort of annoying in this show. He acts as the president basically throughout this entire show, and it's pretty funny at first, but it wears off after a while and doesn't really do anything to stand out after that. Next here we have Morbo. This is one of the reporters who you always see on the news talking, and that's literally all I really remember him from. There really isn't anything that stands out about him. Not any higher or lower than C. Okay, now we have Mom here, and she's just F tier. She is easily like the villain of this show. If I had to give it an antagonist for Futurama, it's her. It's like she's like this monopolistic person just taking over, and she puts on this whole facade and basically scamming all these people. Runs this whole big corporation, of course, and basically just tries to control the world. And you find out about her backstory with Farnsworth like 50, 60 years before the main story, and she's just a horrible person overall. I mean, character wise, not bad, but again, super annoying, super unlikable character, and yeah, F tier. Is that Brannigan? Now he's someone you're also supposed to really hate, but he's also just like kind of got this funny, dumb charm about him. So I'm gonna put him in the B tier. You know, he has this whole running joke that he loves Leela here, and you know he's always tasked with like these big missions in the show, and that's something that's really great about Zap, just fucking shit up like always. And as we're looking forward to the new season, I think that they're gonna start implementing Zap again for season 11. Like I said, I finished the entire series for Futurama, but they are coming back with new episodes here. So we'll have to see how that goes. And of course, we'll have to see if they bring any new characters on. And finally, here, Evil Santa. I'm going to put him in the C tier, you know. I think that those are some of the better episodes, the Christmas episodes. You find out in this new world that Christmas is like the worst day of the year. Like how here it's like most people consider it one of the best days of the year. In Futurama, it is one of the worst because there was sort of an incident that happened a few hundred years ago where now this Santa just goes around and terrorizes people on Christmas Day. So you basically have to lock yourself in your house. It's a whole crazy plot here for Futurama, and maybe they'll elaborate on it in some of these future episodes. But for the, I believe, 2 or 3 episodes that we were able to see, it was interesting here. So yeah, that is going to do it here for the Futurama characters tier list. Like I said, you guys, I just finished the series and I loved Futurama as well as it coming back here. Thought it was a good time here to talk about and bring to light one of the most underrated adult cartoons, animated shows of all time. A very under the radar show, of course, by Matt Groening, creator of The Simpsons as well. But that's going to do it here, everyone. Take care and peace out.